If you're looking for a way to add variety to your cowboy chords, try some color chords. Color chords serve the same function as their cowboy counterparts, but there will be an additional note or an altered note for some extra spice. They don't work in all situations, so the best thing you can do is try them out, figure out when they work for you and when they don't. A sus2, A6, and A major 7 can all be played in place of an A major chord. Here's your A chord, A sus2. I'm playing that with fingers 1 and 2, but you could play with fingers 2, 3 if you like. Fingering is pretty flexible there. And then back to an A chord. Here's your A6 chord. I'm going to take my first finger, bar strings 1 through 4 at the 2nd fret. Again, A major, A6. Now A major 7. Nice pretty chord. A major 7. In some situations, if you have an A major chord that lasts for a while, you can precede it with an A sus4. Here's your A chord, A sus4, and back to A. And sometimes if you have an A7 chord that lasts for a while, you can precede it with an A7 sus4, also just known as an A7 sus. A7, A7 sus4, A7. A minor 6 and A minor 7 can both be played in place of an A minor chord, and this is pretty common in jazz and blues. A minor, A minor 6. It's just like the A minor, except we're adding our pinky to the 2nd fret on the 1st string. And then A minor again, A minor 7. It's just like the A minor, except we take away our 3rd finger. Again, A minor 7. The B9 chord can be played in place of the B7 chord, and this is more common in major keys. B7 and B9. All I've done is taken my pinky from the B7 chord, moved it to the 2nd string on the 2nd fret, and make sure I'm muting the 1st string and the 6th string. C add 9, C6, and C major 7 can all be played in place of the C major chord. C major, C add 9. I'm placing my pinky on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. C major, and here's another C add 9. There's 2 ways to play this add 9. I'm playing this with fingers 2, 1, 3rd string is open, and we have fingers 3 and 4 at the 3rd fret on strings 1 and 2. Both of those can be considered C add 9. C major, C6 chord. And the C6 chord is really fingered just like an A minor, but you're adding your pinky to the 5th string, 3rd fret. And if you mute the 1st string, this becomes a movable chord because there are no open strings. So that would be a C6, C sharp 6, or D flat 6, depending how you think of it, D6, E flat 6, and so forth. And then here's your C major again, and C major 7, just like the C major, no 1st finger. The C9 chord can be played in place of the C7 chord, and just like the B7, the C9 is more common in major keys. Here's our C7, and here's C9. Finger 2, 1, 3, and 4. I'm muting string 1 and string 6, and not only is this a nice sounding chord, but just like your C6 that I mentioned, this is now a movable chord because there are no open strings. So it's a C9 this way, move it up, now it's a D flat 9, now it's a D9, now it's an E flat 9. D sus2, D6, and D major 7 can all be played in place of a D major chord. Here's D major and D sus2. All we've done here is leave the first string open. Back to D major. Here's your D6. Just like the D, except this time we've taken away the note on the second string, leaving the second string open. And D major again, and D major 7. So finger 1 is borrowing strings 1, 2, and 3. Sometimes if you have a D major chord that lasts for a while, you can precede it with a D sus4. D major, D sus4, and D major. And in some situations, if you have a D7 that lasts for a while, you can precede it with a D7 sus4, which you can also just call a D7 sus. D7, D7 sus4. So we've taken away the note from the second fret on the first string and replaced it with the third fret on the first string. So D7 again, D7 sus4 or D7 sus. D minor 6 and D minor 7 can both be played in place of the D minor chord, and this is pretty common in jazz and blues. D minor 6. All we're doing for the D minor 6 is leaving the second string open. So again, D minor 6. And here's D minor again, and D minor 7. So finger 1 is at the first fret, borrowing strings 1 and 2. Finger 2 is playing string 3, fret 2, and string 4 is open. So D minor 7. E add 9 and E6 can both be played in place of the E major chord. E major, E add 9. So it's the same as the E chord, we're just putting our pinky on fret 2 of the first string. And then E major again, and E6. Again, this is just like the E major, except now we're taking our pinky, putting it on string 2, fret 2. So E major, E6. In some situations, if you have an E major chord that lasts for a while, you can precede it with an E sus4. Here's your E major, and then E sus4. So we just have 3 notes all along the same fret. I fingered that with fingers 2, 3, 4 because I just got done playing an E major. Wanted to keep most of my fingers in place. But you could experiment with other fingers as well. And in some situations, if you have an E7 that lasts for a while, you can precede it with an E7 sus4, also known as E7 sus. Here's E7, E7 sus4. All we're doing is taking the note on the third string from the E7, moving it 1 fret higher. So again, E7, E7 sus4. And the E9 chord can be played in place of E7, and this is more common in major keys than it is in minor keys. Here's E7, here's E9. All I'm doing is adding the second fret of the first string to that E7 chord. So again, E7 and E9. And you can play that top note with finger 3 or finger 4. E minor 6, E minor 7, E minor add 9, and E minor 9 can all be played in place of the E minor chord. E minor, E minor 6. We're just taking an E minor and adding second fret of the second string to that chord. So again, E minor and E minor 6. And E minor again, E minor 7. This one's nice and easy. We just need 1 finger. And then here's E minor again. And here's E minor add 9. This is a nice dark sounding chord. I love this one. So finger 1 is on string 5 fret 2, and finger 3 is on string 4 fret 4. And here's another E minor add 9 with the 9th raised to a higher string. So here's E minor, E minor, add 9. We're taking the E minor chord and then adding the 2nd fret of the 1st string. And then E minor again, and E minor 9. And this could be fingered a number of different ways, easy for me to say. F add 9 and F major 7 can both be played in place of the F major chord. Here's your 4-string F major chord, and then your F add 9. So we're playing fingers 3, 2, 1 of the F major chord, the notes that are on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings. But instead of barring at the 1st fret, we're adding our pinky to the 1st string, 3rd fret. And then F major again, the 4-string version, and then F major 7. Pretty chord. It's just like your F major, except you don't have to bar strings 1 and 2, you leave string 1 open. G6 and G major 7 can both be played in place of the G major chord. G major and G6. G6 is just like G major, except you leave the 1st string open. So again, G major, G6. And G major again, G major 7. Just like G major, except instead of playing at the 3rd fret on the 1st string, you play at the 2nd fret. So again, G major and G major 7. And in some situations, if you have a G major chord that lasts for a while, you can precede it with a G sus4. So here's G major, here's G sus4. What I'm doing here is I'm playing my 1st finger on the 2nd string 1st fret, and I am also muting the 5th string with my 3rd finger. I don't want that string to sound. So this one's a little trickier than the others, but again, here's G major, and here's that G sus4. And again, I'm muting this 5th string with my 3rd finger. Try these chords out, figure out when they work for you and when they don't. And if you're looking for a systematic approach to chord strumming and fingerstyle patterns, check out my rhythm guitar books. I'll leave links for those in the description. And for more guitar lessons, please subscribe.